Welcome to What's What, the internet game show full of nerdy impersonations, interpretations, and thoughtful deliberations. Starring your puzzle master, clue giver, and your personal impersonator, it's Mark Bayne.
Guess what? I just woke up from a nap.
We're joined today live from the Philly kitchen. Just kidding, we recorded. It's Adriane Santa Croce.
Hi.
I like puns. Yes, I do. I like puns. How about you? It's Steve Dombriskie.
Hi there.
It's going to be a good one.
Charismatic bunch. Who are you, Eric?
I'm your host, Eric Bayne.
Don't say it.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our first game is called What Would Owen Wilson Say? Owen Wilson is renowned for his use of the word.
Wow.
We're going to give you clues, and you're going to answer with a word that rhymes with wow. 1 point for the correct answer, and 1 point for your best Owen Wilson impersonation. What would Owen Wilson say?
If he drove down a country road and saw a spotted farm animal.
That is correct. Steve, one more time.
Cow.
2 points for Steve. That was decent.
I'm sorry. 2 points for Steve.
Finally,
One
validation.
correct answer. 2 for that amazing impersonation of Owen Wilson. Your next clue. What would Owen Wilson say?
Is his favorite Netflix show about British royalty.
The Crown.
That is correct. And another point for Steve. Your next clue. What would Owen Wilson say?
If he played Lightning McQueen in Pixar's Cars.
The Chow.
That is also correct for so many reasons. Your third clue. What would Owen Wilson say?
If he needed a specific piece of farm equipment,
Wow.
and row upon row of crops. Say that one more time, Adriane.
Wow.
I think that's 2 points. Absolutely. Fantastic. Well, that's the end of our first game. So we're going to take time to check in on one of our guests for an interview. Calculate the score, which isn't tremendously difficult.
Simple addition.
I got there at the end.
Yep.
No, you did.
Adriane, yeah, you chimed in there at the end. Well, speaking of warming up leftovers, tell us about your food blog.
Well, it's the Philly kitchen. That's where I live in Philly, and I cook a lot. And I like to share about that on the internet.
Do you have specific Philly foods? I mean, like, I know there's the Philly cheesesteak, of course, and I've been to Philly a few times. What do you have? Would you be your favorite dish?
In general, or in the world of Philly foods?
Ooh, both.
Oh God, I don't even know. I think
She didn't have an answer to either.
I love food so much. I love food so much. I don't know. All the food in Philly is so good. It's so underrated. It's people just think about cheesesteaks and it's like there's so much good food. And what I love, I'll just say, is sandwiches. Philly is a city of sandwiches, and I'm all about that.
Philly is a city of sandwiches. I want that embroidered on my next.
We're going to use so much of that in the trailer.
Do you consider a hot dog a sandwich?
Ooh.
Being a food blog writer, is a hot dog a sandwich? And I have a follow-up.
I think technically yes.
Okay. Is cereal soup?
No. Well, wait. To be honest, I don't really care. I don't really care what it is. If it tastes good, I'm good.
Coming out of the first round, Adriane's trailing with 2 points. Steve is in the lead with 6. Our next game is called British or Magic.
To this day, I don't know what a lot of turns of phrase or items are British or magic.
That's right. Phrases and concepts Mark learned from Harry Potter have left him perpetually confused if they are in fact British words or turns of phrase or are in fact just magic. Each question in this game is worth 1 point. We're going to ask our contestants to write down their answers and reveal them at the same time. Both contestants can earn points. Your first clue.
Snogging.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
I got caught snogging at the U-Ball dance, I did. Snogging.
Adrian, we'll start with you. Is snogging British or magic?
British.
Steve, that's to you.
Also British.
That is correct, and points for both players. Snogging is, in fact, British.
British.
Your next clue.
Whomping willow. Whomping willow.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
I love my queen and my country, and especially me whomping willow. Whomping willow.
Steve, we'll start with you.
Magic.
Adrian?
I was gonna say magic, but to be different, I'm gonna say British.
Fantastic. Correct answer is magic. Whomping willow is, in fact, magic. It's a giant tree that attacked a flying car.
Magic.
Your next clue.
Prefect. Prefect.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
I went down to the corner market, but I forgot my wallet. When I tried to steal something from the shelves, I got caught by the prefect. Isn't it? Prefect. Prefect.
Perfect. Adrian, we'll start with you. Is prefect British or magic?
British?
And Steve?
I'm going to go magic.
That is a point for Adrian. Prefect is British.
British.
There are several of them. I think one of the Weasleys is one. I remember things about Harry Potter.
They were like dorm room police. What do you
Yes.
call those? Yeah.
RA.
Yeah, an RA.
Not in Britain. Your next clue.
Howler. Howler.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
I had my beans and toast while I opened my most recent howler. Howler.
Steve, we'll start with you.
I'm going to switch it and go British.
And Adrian.
I'll say magic.
As a point for Adrian, howlers are, in fact, magic. They're angry letters, if memory serves. It's been a while. Your next clue.
Herbology. Herbology.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Herbology may be the study of plants, or maybe the study of magic plants. I don't know, ain't it, Guff?
That took a hard left.
Herbology.
That took a hard left halfway through the accent. I love it.
I'm running out. I'm running out.
That's amazing. Adrian, we'll start with you.
British?
And Steve?
I'm going to go British.
That's a point for both players. Herbology is, in fact, British. That is the end of our second game.
Steve, I've seen a lot of your photographs on Facebook, and I know they're on Instagram as well. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so to kind of escape the stresses of everyday life, I take pictures. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just point my camera at things and I press the button and it seems to work out okay. I've been taking pictures for like 15 or so years. My previous career was at the zoo, so I was always around things to take pictures of. And now that I've switched gears and gone into teaching, it's a little less to take pictures of. I get out when I can, but a lot of pictures of animals, a lot of nature pictures, really digging black and white recently. And then my Instagram handle is just at Steve_Dombriskie, which I'm sure these gentlemen will put on the screen at some point. But yeah, so I just like to take pictures. I like the fact that people enjoy them. And I also enjoy the fact that I've gotten better, thank God, because they weren't that amazing when I started. And now they're getting a little bit better.
I think my favorite is when I see a photograph by you and I'm like, wow, look at that photograph. And I'm like, oh, he's just posting someone else's photograph. There's a watermark. And then I realize it's your watermark. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool, I think. What is the most, so I've seen a lot of the animals. What's the most interesting animal that you've photographed, do you think, or at least the rarest animal?
Oh, easily. When my wife and I were on our honeymoon in San Diego, we went to the San Diego Zoo, and one of their animals it's an animal called a white-bellied tree pangolin. They're mammals, but they're covered in scales. And
Magic.
It's magic. To our knowledge, it was the only one in the United States. And we happened by the position in the zoo where the educator had it out, and I got pictures of its scales really up close and in depth. And I wish back then I would have had a better camera, because I was just like a point and shoot DSLR at the time. But that was probably the rarest, probably the only time I'll ever see one of those in my life. That's
incredible. And if we're lucky, there'll be more of those in America, or was it on a traveling train across like? It was intercepted. I think there was these are one of the animals that gets pulled for the pet trade and for medicinal trade. So they happened to like intercept it at an airport. And I don't know. It's been 10 years now, so I don't know if it's still with us or if it has since crossed the zoo animal rainbow bridge many years ago. But to my knowledge, I don't think any institution has them in the United States.
The scores coming out of round 2. Steve is in the lead with 9, Adriane trailing with 6, but there's plenty of time to catch up in our third and final game. Our last game is called I've Heard It Both Ways. Contestants will be presented with 3 statements. One is true, one is definitely a lie, and one is either a common myth or used to be considered true but is no longer. We're calling that a half-truth. Your job is to decide and correctly identify which statement is true, a lie, and a half-truth. Mark will read all 3 statements to contestants in the form of a liar of your choice. Once he is done, contestants will write down their answers and share them at the same time. Each correctly identified statement is worth 1 point. Therefore, both contestants can earn up to 3 points per question in this game. Adriane, yes. Would you like to hear these lies delivered in straight-faced deadpan, Southern lawyer, President Clinton, or President Nixon?
Southern lawyer.
I do declare.
Here it goes. Your first clue.
The Chicago press have been involved with true crime. Excuse me, I seem to have forgotten my composure here. Let me have a sip of this sweet tea for just a moment. The Chicago press have been involved with true crime documentaries since its inception in 1897. Women accused of witchcraft were burned at the stake during the Salem witch trials. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins can.
Well, that's just not fair. We brought a former zookeeper onto the show. Steve, we'll start with you when you're ready. What order do you think these statements are in?
I'm going to go half-truth, truth, lie.
All right. And Adriane, to you.
I'm going to go truth, half-truth, lie.
That is just 1 point for Adriane. It's a lie, half-truth, and truth. By slowing down their heart rates, sloths can hold their breaths for up to 40 minutes. Dolphins need to come up for air after about 10. Most accused as witches during the Salem witch trials in the late 17th century were hanged or just died in jail.
Oh, that's much better. Thank you.
Weird thing to say with that level of enthusiasm. Steve, the next round of clues. Would you like to hear deadpan, President Clinton or President Nixon?
I was 100% going to pick Southern lawyer, but I'll go deadpan this time.
Deadpan it is. Your first clue.
You need to drink at least 8 glasses of water every day. A woman was elected to Congress before women's suffrage. There are more hot air balloons than bow ties.
Adriane, when you're ready, we're going to start with you. In what order you think these statements are in?
Okay, I'll just do this quickly because I'm thinking way too hard. Let's just go half truth, truth, false, lie. Sorry, true, half true, lie.
Truth, English. Got it.
British.
Steve, that's to you.
I'm also going to say half truth, truth, lie.
That's 3 points for both our contestants. That is a half-truth, truth, and lie. American women were given the right to vote in 1920, but Jeannette Rankin became the first woman in the U.S. federal office in 1916. And according to the Mayo Clinic, the amount of water you need daily depends on several different factors, like your overall health, your activity levels, and where you live. No single number applies to humans across the board. Your last round of clues, Adriane, that's your pick. Would you like President Nixon or President Clinton?
I want President Clinton.
Excellent.
All right.
Jesus.
Your first clue.
Red pens have been associated with more violent crimes than brass knuckles and pool cues combined. You'll get cramps if you go swimming right after you eat. Fruit Loops are all the same flavor.
That's the second time cereals come up this episode on accident. Steve.
Cereals are a soup.
Well, I guess that answers that. Steve, that's to you.
Lie, half truth, truth.
And Adriane, to you.
I'm going to say truth, half truth, lie.
That is 3 points for Steve and 1 point for Adriane. It is a lie, half truth, and truth. There's no point in eating around the purple ones. All Fruit Loops taste like fruit.
What do you have against the purple ones?
Nothing.
Oh no.
I
That
don't think I've ever had Fruit Lips.
Oh no.
Follow your nose wherever it goes.
I mean, that would explain your lack of opinion on the whole cereal soup controversy.
Yeah, I'm not a big cereal. I don't eat a lot of cereal.
Guess things aren't always sunnier in Philly. Yeah, that's coming out in post. That is the end of our show, which puts Steve as our winner for the day with 14 points, with Adriane just trailing with 11. Congrats to both of our players, and thank you so much for being here.